everyone. If you please stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning. It is November 10th. This is the Broadwater County Commissioners General Business Meeting, and it is 10 o'clock. Before we start, just a little bit of housekeeping. As usual, Broadwater County does have a public meeting policy, also a civility policy. We follow Robert's Rules of Order. The purpose of this policy is to open Broadwater County public meetings to all county citizens. We realize we have a fiscal and fiduciary responsibility to conduct county business as efficiently as possible for all Broadwater County residents. Commission meetings are recorded and are on YouTube, so please state your full name prior to any public comment for the record. Any separate conversations need to be removed from the meeting and conducted outside. Outbursts will not be tolerated. Public comment will give each citizen who wishes to speak an initial 3 minutes to do so, and all comments will be directed to the board chairman. So with that, we will move into public comment. Is there any public comments? Tim?
Good morning, Commissioners. Congratulations, Commissioner Obert, in order. We are all happy that the election process is over, and I'm just rising this morning to continue coming before the Commission and seeking the transparency and accountability as on behalf of the people of Broadwater County. We have a certain issue that's coming up here very quickly here in Montana, and I would like to ask the Commission again to address this, if you will. Ravalli County has came out and given a statement drafted by MACO regarding the new rule on the waters of the United States. That is devastating to the people of Montana and private property rights, and we need to move forward with that one copy of this letter on behalf of the people to have you folks take a look at that. We have until the 14th to address this. Normally, and I think the last time I brought this up, the Commission had made a comment that this is a conservation district issue, but as you can see here, Ravalli County has taken the lead in moving forward with making a public stand on this particular important issue. So on behalf of people, I'd like the Commission to consider following suit here, and then again, the 14th is the deadline for that. Appreciate having our citizens here have a seat at that table and in making a stand on that. With that said, members of the Commission, thank you very much.
Thank you, Tim. Any other public comment? John?
John Wright. Laura, this is in reference to our last meeting that I was here, and I did make a citizen's arrest on the one simple thing, and I want to know if you plan on continue using parliamentary law to supersede our constitutional laws in this constitutional county. Will you address this and give me an explanation why you think that can be done or not done? Thank you.
All right, any other public comment? Public comment? All right. To the responses, the Commission is privy to probably 30 counties who have written regarding the U.S. waters issue. These letters are not drafted by MACO, they are actually drafted by the individual counties. Ravalli is one of about 30. It is appropriate, and many of these counties have worked with their conservation districts. It is appropriate that we do the same. We do have a commissioner sitting on the conservation district. Franklin, any comments on this issue?
I think it should go both ways, the conservation district, and that's what I know, this water rights is pretty important.
Has it been brought up in the conservation district? Have they asked you to bring anything to us?
It's probably coming up now.
Excuse me, Madam Chair.
Hang on, Tim, I'd like to hear what the conservation district has
That
discussed.
wasn't at the last meeting, so I don't know if it come up or not. I don't believe so, that from what I remember in the minutes.
Okay. Any suggestions you have as the representative on the Conservation District? Are they waiting for the county to lead them, or do they have any plans to come to us? Can you share anything with us as far as that goes?
So I'm sure that they'll make their own comment, same as Root Lodge did too.
So you're suggesting the commission move on its own without the Conservation District? Is that accurate?
Yeah, or work with them either way. The main thing is to get that information out there. I didn't realize the 14th was the,
Would you contact them and then send us an email this week and let us know, and then perhaps draft a letter jointly, either with the two or just for the commission on this issue, again, as the representative on that board?
yeah, we can do that.
Okay, perfect, thank you very much. We will go ahead and put that on the agenda for next Monday then?
I don't think we have an agenda.
This should be, since it's such a big issue. Is that a doable date? Actually, today is the 10th, right? How about this, we put it on the agenda for next Monday, but with a letter by this week, we could actually have it sent by the 14th with our signatures. Does that work?
Okay with me.
Okay.
Fine.
I would entertain a motion then.
So move.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded that Franklin will draft a letter in,
No, I'm not drafting the letter. I'm gonna get with Denise. I'm not gonna draft the letter. Well, I guess I can. I can make a rough thing if you want, but that's.
I will
I'm
be
no
gone
letter.
this week. So, who
well,
would like
Elaine will
to,
take care of it then.
We'll take care of it.
okay. So it's been moved and seconded that Franklin and Elaine will jointly take care of drafting a letter regarding the U.S. Waters issue on behalf of Broadwater County, to be sent out this week. All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. All right. And I will give my permission to take
Your
it
part
to.
is, your part is important to you, like it is me on this water issue.
Oh, it is. It's my livelihood.
Right.
And there's quite a few drafts, like I said, I forwarded over 30 from other counties, so taking what they've already written and putting it on letterhead is really all that really needs to be done.
Okay,
So we will have our presence also jointly with those others.
and we should.
I believe so, we should too. I've just been waiting to hear something back from either the rest of the commission or the Conservation District to actually get this going. So thank you for that. Regarding citizen's arrest, I'm just gonna skip over that as a nonsensical issue. Tim, yes?
Madam Chair, just for your information, the Conservation District is meeting this Wednesday at noon through the, starts at 11, and they are going to be addressing this issue. I've talked to Denise myself, and they have been looking at this and what, so it would be probably very good if you folks can on Wednesday, maybe if nothing else, stop by and just touch base with them so everybody's on the same page. That would be great. Thank you.
And what time does the meeting start, Tim?
Starts at 11.
And we did address this actually, I forget which meeting it was, but did address the need to go to the Conservation District and get some feedback from them. So this will be good if we can get it done this week.
I'm gonna take this.
Perfect, perfect. All right, so Montana Minute, Franklin.
It's kind of interesting. The person that shot Bin Laden is from Butte, Montana, and the people of Butte, it's a double-edged sword. He's a hero, but they're concerned that him and the city of Butte can be a target for terrorists. And so, but it's quite interesting. It'll be interesting how it plays out the rest of the way.
Just a PS on that. I think it's terrible that they let his name out though. I just think that was wrong. Montana Minute, Broadwater County football team marches on still. So they beat Baker, who is a fantastic team with really big guys, 45-0. And Brian's got a son, played, did a great job. So really proud of them. And then I have one more. I attended Women in Agriculture luncheon at the museum on Friday. And with Denise from NRCS and Linda from the museum put together regarding women voting. Very, very nice, very enjoyable. Nice job, Linda.
My Montana Minute will ditto yours. It was a wonderful tea celebrating women's right to vote and the fact that it was the ag counties around Montana that carried it. The cities did not, they voted it down. So I thought that was an interesting bit of trivia we got from it. But well done, Linda and Denise. Put a lot of work into it and it showed. The other Montana Minute I have is just a huge thank you to the citizens of Broadwater County for placing their faith in me again for 6 years. I think that I do not speak alone when I say thank goodness the election is over. We can get back to work. But it has been a tremendous growing opportunity the last 2 years, so I can be nothing but thankful for the challenges. So with that, any Montana Minutes from the audience? Linda,
I have a Broadwater County minute.
very good.
Some time ago, I think it was Mike Meyer asked me if I knew where the cornerstone to the courthouse is.
Ah,
And
yeah.
I don't know if anybody ever found it, but I think I did. I found an article that was in the Star, and it was the ceremony to lay the cornerstone. And it says, a polished granite slab bearing the year in which the new Broadwater County Courthouse was erected, engraved on its face, was fitted into a recess in the front of the brickwork of the building as the closure feature of the ceremony held here Saturday as an official laying of the cornerstone for the new structure. Within a hollowed out niche in the granite stone was stored a copper airtight box containing historical data of the county. So I think it's behind that.
No, it's right out front, and you can see it.
But it's, the box is behind.
Right.
And I didn't know if anybody knew that or not. And in this article, it lists what's inside that box.
Oh, would you read that to us?
Sure, sure. There's a small silk American flag, a history of the county by E.H. Goodman, story of the founding of Townsend with the coming of the railroad in 1883, taken from the files of the Independent Record, or the Hillman Independent Record in September 1934, a 1934 voting list, a bronze medallion of Roosevelt and Garner, a certified list of present county officers, a certified list of the architects and contractors, a bird's eye view of Townsend, the last statement of the Townsend State Bank, names of grade school children taking part in the program with the names of their principal and musical director, 3 issues of the Townsend Star, April 1934, March 14th, 35, and that special edition of May 10th, 1907, a booklet containing the story of George Myers and his association with Theodore Roosevelt.
Ah,
Interesting.
thank you, Linda. That's interesting. Anybody else? Tim?
Just today happens to be the 239th birthday of the United States Marine Corps defending freedom.
Anyone else?
Tomorrow's Veterans Day.
No? Sharon, is that a hand?
Yes.
All right.
Sharon Dwight. It's the 76th birthday of God Bless America. And tomorrow we have an open house from 3 to 6 at the American Legion. So I hope people will stop in. There'll be cookies and coffee and just talk to any of the veterans that come in.
Fantastic. Thank you. John?
Is there a possibility that this copy of this information about the plaque be made available to us?
It was made available to you. If you'd like a copy, you can certainly go to the museum and
It's
just
at the
purchase a copy
museum.
there.
Well, I was
Absolutely.
hoping it'd be done right here, and maybe at the next meeting.
Sure, we can get that for you and then
Would you do
just
that
have that down in the clerk and recorder's office.
I do have a copy of it, John, but I cut off the bottom of the front page, so I'll make a new copy.
Well, I'm used to things being cut off.
All right, 10:15, Brian Holmes, solid waste monthly update. And while you make your way up here, Linda, we don't have minutes, right?
We do know.
Okay, we will have those next week.
Brian?
Good morning.
Good morning. Seems like it's just here.
And we're just here, yeah.
Having fun. Winter's here. We only had one vehicle that wouldn't start this morning, that was my pickup. But everything else seems to be working okay. By the looks of the canisters, it's been a successful hunting season. We've seen a lot of carcasses. Most of them have been cleaned up pretty good, others have not. That kind of makes me mad, but I'll get over it. I've been working with Department of Revenue, trying to figure out an easy way or a easier way to figure out who needs to be paying solid waste fees and who hasn't. I think we've got a plan in place to do that. It's gonna take some time. It's going through each tax record and looking individually to see if they're paying the right amount. If they're not paying, should they be? That's gonna take some time, but winter's a good time to do that. So that's what I'll be working on the next few months. The solid waste board will probably be helping me out with that. We still have a couple of openings on the solid waste board if anybody's interested. We've been beating the bushes, but we haven't come up with any willing volunteers yet. And that's really about it. Any questions?
For me.
Things have been progressing rather nicely.
Could you turn on some heat for the game Saturday, please?
The heat by the drill.
All right.
Nice.
We've been doing some tailgating beforehand, but it's kind of fun. It's people there. We even fed the Baker team before they left. So
Oh, that's nice.
put hot dogs and hamburgers for them. Send them on their way with a full belly. Is the least we could do after.
And a sad heart.
After beating them like a redheaded stepchild. We'll take it.
We'll take it. We hope to do it again this week.
Absolutely.
Keep them rolling.
We have a very outstanding football team, to say the least.
We do, my escort for the tee was one of the football players, and he was an absolute joy. He was wonderful, great kid. So, yeah, kudos to our team and the players.
They're a good bunch of kids.
Yes, they are.
I hate to lose them for next year. Life goes on.
It does. Anything else?
Anything from the board? All right, keep up the good work.
All right,
Yeah.
thanks.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Brian.
Get your truck started.
Hopefully it'll start again.
All right, we're a little bit ahead of schedule, so we will move into mail. Department of Public Service Regulation, Montana Public Service Commission, sent a notice, and this is regarding Queen City Limousine Service. This does not necessarily affect Broadwater County, but if you know anybody that is affected, you can let them know. We have a report on the Montana Business Assistance Connection management of the Broadwater County revolving loan fund. Thank you. Revolving loan fund was started over a decade ago. A business, at that time it was Broadwater Printing, got a loan to start up. And the starting of the revolving loan fund was the money they paid back to that loan would stay in Broadwater County. That money has since been loaned and repaid back and loaned and repaid back to help businesses to a couple $1 million. So it's been a nice benefit to the county.
PFM is paid up completely. That is great. I would like to have a copy of this. Huh?
Would you sign these two claims?
There's something about it.
Put them in the pile.
I'm glad to see PFM is paid up.
Yeah,
That is wonderful.
yeah, so too.
Wonderful for them and wonderful for us.
Thank you. We have two different claims. These are approved claims from last week in the amount of $11,385.
I'll make a motion that we pay the claims from last week, $11,385.50.
And 50 cents. Thank you.
You're the place that you said. Awesome.
It's been moved and seconded to pay the approved claims in the amount of $11,385.50. All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Signature of that.
Thank you. And this is from the switchover with Black Mountain. It delayed the report for the second set of approved claims. And this one in the amount of $67,086.43.
I'll make a motion that we approve the second set of claims, $67,086.43.
Awesome.
It's been moved and seconded to pay the approved claims of $67,086.43. All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And I'd like a copy too.
Is that a front sheet? No,
I think it's probably the bottom.
you put them upside down.
There's the call there.
Thank you. All right, and then the last piece of mail we have is the open meeting policy. A couple of months ago, we voted to have a addition to this, and that being written communication. Written communication to be read in a meeting needed to be signed by the author, and verifiable information so that we can be sure they are a resident or who they are. So I just updated the open meeting policy, and I just think we should have a vote to approve it and sign it and make it a matter of record.
So moved. Is this the original?
It is, yes. Do we have a second,
Oh.
Franklin?
Well, read it all yet.
Sorry.
Thank you, that's all right.
You need to know.
Oh, you can do that.
In fact,
Yeah, I should have changed that. Not a big deal. Would you like me to change that?
well, it was just gonna be this one, it could be clean, but then I see it's. Yeah, let's.
Okay.
So it's,
All right, we'll
So
add
it's
that to
correct.
the motion. And this, of course, has been our open meeting policy now for about 2 years, except for the, just a little bit of housekeeping.
well, and I think it's important, if people feel that strong about a letter that they send in, they ought to have guts, excuse my French, enough to sign it.
I agree,
And the newspaper won't print anything if it isn't signed,
absolutely.
so.
And the legislature won't
Right.
receive anything unless it's authored.
Mhm. Of course, yeah, that's this one.
I forgot to look.
Plenty well chilly. In reading this report on the Fusion, there's a note here, it says it needs tires. That the tires are, the outside tires are cupping.
Okay. Is that,
That's on the Fusion.
whose bill is that?
Ours.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, I just saw one from Brenda. We should actually, make sure we get done what needs to be done to keep that car safe.
Right.
After we take care of this other motion, we'll discuss that. Franklin, do you have a second to the motion?
There are a couple of questions here. So if the topic is a new item of presentation, a copy of the presentation must be submitted with agenda request. The presiding officer will make the final decision. The final agenda will be reviewed prior. I think everybody should being on making the decision.
Yeah, and it does say that, it's just if there's a tie or, the presiding officer is responsible for the agenda. This is language taken from the school board, and it's, somebody's gotta be responsible for that final decision. It doesn't say anywhere here that the presiding officer is the only one making the decision.
It says shall make a final decision.
Right.
Yeah, so it leaves it up to the,
It leaves it up to the full board.
it leaves it up to the presiding officer to make the final decision. The way it's worded.
What's your suggestion for changing that wording?
The commission, instead of presiding officer, I think the commission.
Okay? Any other changes?
And the other one, that bottom line is also, comments will be directed to the presiding officer, never to another citizen, guest, employee, or visiting expert. I think the question, if there's a visiting expert, I think the question should be able to go to that person.
That's actually contrary to Robert's Rules of Order. You never, ever put somebody in the hot seat in a meeting like this. It's always directed to the presiding chair. Now, we have been very casual in letting people like Lee Alt address questions himself, but that is contrary to Robert's Rules of Order, and if you have a hostile crowd, there has to be a buffering. It's done at the legislature that way. It's part of Mason's Rules of Order as well as Robert's Rules of Order. You have to have the ability to have a buffer in case you have a hostile crowd.
And it's definitely done that way at the legislature.
Right.
Like this.
Yes.
Anyway, those are two things that I question.
All right, I would suggest that since we do have to have one person who is, well, I think we'll just leave it that way. So we'll change presiding officer in the agenda paragraph to commission in the last line there. But I'm opposed to changing from comments being directed through the presiding officer. Elaine, if you,
No, I agree.
okay. And is this change good with you?
Yep.
Okay. So, are you seconding the motion then, Franklin, with those friendly amendments?
No, I go along with the first one, we change the commission, but I'm still questioning this other part, so.
Can we break it into two motions?
Please.
Make a motion then in the first part that we have commission instead of presiding officer, we'll say the commission. But the final agenda should be reviewed prior to publication. And hold it, maybe not. I think somebody's got to be in charge. I disagree with this, with the commission being there. I think, because you said earlier, that somebody's got to be able to make the final decision.
One of the issues that we do have is that the person who puts together the agenda does send it to the three of us for review, and she does not get comments other than from me. One, because I'm working here in the courthouse Monday afternoons, and two, because I am the presiding officer. Do we run the risk of not getting the agenda published if she sends it to all three of us and gets the response of a minority of the commission?
I think it's our responsibility to check with her, hers not to check with us to check with her and see if there's something on the agenda that we disagree with or whatever, and then print it. But I think it's our responsibility to make sure it's okay.
I agree with that.
So I pull my motion back.
Okay. Let's see. How about this? Okay, so this is again under the agenda paragraph. The request to be on the agenda should include the topic and details of the issue to be considered. If the topic is a new item or presentation, a copy of the presentation must be submitted to the commission with the agenda request. The presiding officer will make the final decision with the commission. The final agenda shall be reviewed prior to publication.
Yeah,
Is that agreeable to you, Franklin?
so we all have a say.
Absolutely. And a responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Is that agreeable to you, Franklin?
Yeah, I'll go on with that way.
Okay, so I would entertain a motion for that one change.
So moved.
Second?
I'll second that part.
It's been moved and seconded to change the agenda paragraph, last sentences to read if the topic is as read. All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Read it again now.
Okay? If the topic is a new item or presentation, a copy of the presentation must be submitted to the commission with the agenda request. The presiding officer shall make the final decision with the commission. The final agenda shall be reviewed prior to publication. So, all those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Okay, the second change proposed, we didn't get a second for, so I won't address that one. And then I will switch the presiding officer. Right now it reads Elaine Gravely. I'll just switch that for housekeeping.
Mhm.
So with that, I would entertain a motion to adopt the open meetings policy.
So moved.
We have a second.
No, because I don't think it's changed the other part there that I questioned.
Okay, I will second it. It's been moved and seconded to adopt the open meetings policy with those two changes. All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed?
No.
One opposed? And I will.
Question for you, why did you second it then? When
I went on part of it, but I didn't go on the rest of it.
So, I will bring
So
it.
it actually makes it,
Go ahead.
so it actually kills it, both of them.
You know what?
We didn't hear you, Franklin.
Like I say, I went ahead with that first part, but then with the second part tied in as it was, a no, so that actually no goes on both of them, yes.
Do you want to, motion to change your vote on the first changes? Is that what you're saying? Or leave that as a, you support that but not the second one?
I support that, but not the rest of it.
Okay, then the motion stand and the vote stand as stated. And again, I will bring a clean version with the changes for signature next week. All right, thank you for that. I'll give you that, Ann. So with that, it is 11:40. Valerie Hornsveld, clerk of court, pictures of judges to be framed decision. Come on up, Val.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm coming before the commission to see if they could help with the cost of some framing of our past judges. Judge Reynolds has been so kind as to get pictures of Judge Lobel, Judge Peter Malloy, Judge Sherlock, and Judge McCarter. 20 by 24 pictures is what the sizes are. And so I took them into Ben Franklin to get them framed, and they gave us a 20% discount. And so the cost of them would be $10,069.50.
10,000?
No, 1,000. Well, it says 10. Well, I wouldn't have got it. They're made out of gold.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I know I've talked to a couple of other department heads who said there may be some money available in, I'm not sure where it is, but it's a mineral type things. I know that the treasurer's office did get their desks through there, and I know that some painting was done in the county through that fund also.
Mineral royalties.
That's what it was, thank you, Elaine. And, so, anyway, I'm just asking for some help if it is available
So where are you gonna hang these?
in the courtroom here.
Just go around the wall?
Yeah.
Now, is there a plaque or something that tells what years?
Yeah, we'll get some, Helena Staff Works does those up, they're really nice, and we'll get them to do those up, but
The years they presided.
the years they presented here, yes. So,
Now, Jen, how much was that?
$1,069.50. Yeah, I about had a heart attack. I did not realize framing was so expensive. You can tell how often I take pictures of it. So, and that was very reasonable.
Has anybody checked into how much money's in the Renton grant?
No, I haven't. I didn't even know. I just, and if there's not enough to do the whole thing, even if just partial, we can take the rest out of my budget.
And Jim, I'd like to check in the royalties first to see what's there.
I would too, and I would also like to maybe open up the partners for this. I would think the Justice of the Peace Office would also be a partner, as well as the county attorney's office. Especially the county attorney, since we work so closely with the judges. And I know that JP does as well, maybe not in the same way as you and the county attorney, but still there's a partnership there.
Okay,
So I'd like to see maybe a bigger partnership.
okay. You want me to check to see if they would be available? I can do so.
All
I
right,
can do so.
thank you. So, any questions, more questions from the board? How about we
I
take-
like the plan.
How about we table this till next week?
I think so.
Okay.
Is
That'll
that
give us
agreeable to
time
you?
to
Yep,
check.
I will, and I can check to see with Doug how much is
okay.
available, and I can check with the attorney and the JP's office.
Thank you.
You are very
Very
welcome.
much.
You might wanna check with the new county attorney.
I will check with Corey.
Yeah, I would suggest both. He sent us an email, I did forward it to you guys, and what he said is until January, when he is officially the county attorney, every request should still go to the
Oh,
current county
definitely.
attorney. So both of them, I think, would be good.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, I will do so. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Thank you, Val. Okay, 10:45, I don't see Bernadette, we are a couple minutes early. We are done.
There's those ones too. Did you?
Yeah, I got
Oh,
those.
okay.
Oh, we have one more piece of mail I forgot about. I think it's just one. Okay, BCDC. They are wondering if the county would like to be a member. Much of what they do, of course, it is Broadwater County Development Corporation. They've worked in Rayburg, throughout Townsend, the Silos area, Winston.
And what is the cost?
$50 a year, I believe. $50 a year. So, what do you guys think about being a member of BCDC? They also did the community website, of which the county has a full page.
I'm fine with it, I can put people on there.
Franklin, any arguments to or for or opposed?
Against it, other than, I think that they're the ones that are making the decisions, you know, I don't think we should be involved in their decisions. In other words, we're just we're a non-voting member, is that kind of what it is?
There's, just like a lot of organizations, just like Chamber, there are members, which we would be one, and then there is a voted board that makes the preliminary decisions, that does the arguing for and against different ideas, that proposes different ideas. So, yeah, Broadwater County Commission would not be an automatic board
I'd be-
member.
I'd be in favor just for membership only.
All right, so, I'll just take as a casual Motion, thank you. We have a second? It's been moved and seconded that Broadwater County will become a member of BCDC, and we will bring a claim for that next week. All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. And still no Bernadette. You know what I will do is we have adjusting journal entries coming up at 11:45. It always takes a few minutes to go through these, so since we're a little bit early before our next appointment, I'm gonna go ahead and pass these out for you guys to review now. We will hold off our decision till closer to the 11:45 hour. And, again, issues and times are subject to change. This is more management than anything else. These have been in the commission office for some time. I review them as they come in. So this is either a first or a second review. And then I'll interrupt if we do have a COS.
Just journal entries.
Oh, in the journal. Okay.
Yeah.
We did have a vote on the other infusion. Did we? No, we tabled that till we got done with the other vote that was on the table.
Yeah.
Okay, bring that up here.
there.
Who is it?
RJC.
Mhm.
Oh, is it?
I guess that makes sense, with the initials.
Who's it? Kinky Line?
Katie Lamb. Augustine, Lee and I. Have you talked to anybody over extension today?
No, I wanted to discuss that though.
Yeah.
I did see Debbie, but I haven't, Freckle did, but I haven't talked to her. It was just in passing. It was when I was coming upstairs.
Give me those ones, so we don't have to do this. I'll make a motion then that we approve the adjusting journal entries.
One second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the adjusting journal entries for the month of September. All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. And of course, these are all kept downstairs in a file. Anyone can review them at any time. So that would be riveting reading. All right, 11 o'clock, Trust Board grants search for search and rescue, dog bites, and decision.
I think this one is good.
No, Trust Board,
Mhm.
This is a, no, and they haven't ever come to us at this point before. But we do put it on the agenda so that people are aware of what they're doing. So we have 3 grants. The trust board got their money from the cabin sales around Canyon Ferry Lake. That money was then put into a trust, and anything above the $2.5 million corpus, they can use for a certain mission. And they have parameters set by the legislation, congressional legislation that set up the trust. And it's used for recreation purposes within Broadwater County. They just pulled another $100,000 out of their corpus, or from above the corpus, so that they can use it locally. And this is actually for money prior to that. They put out grants, and people fill them out, interview with the trust board, and then the trust board votes whether to put those forward. The final decision does lie with the commission. So we have 3 different grants to review. The first one is $19,500 for the Broadwater County Sheriff's Department Search and Rescue. This would provide a mobile command center to aid searchers and victims and their families in a time of need. At this time, Broadwater County doesn't have a mobile unit, and many searches and rescues are in remote areas with extreme weather conditions. The command center will aid in providing better communications and a safe place for all parties involved. What is the last? Mm-hmm, it is. Many of the counties, including Moore, have them. We've been able to borrow, or in the wind, they've used rocks on top of somebody's hood for the map. So this gives them kind of a staging area to do that. Search and rescue, of course,
Weren't they asking for some wetsuits too?
not in this
Yeah.
grant.
This is a different one.
Like I said, we have 3 grants we're reviewing.
That's yours. I'll make a motion then, we grant approval to the county trust board to approve funding for $19,500 grant for the sheriff's department / search and rescue.
Second.
So we moved and seconded to approve the $19,500 grant for the mobile command center for search and rescue. All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Oops, I forgot how to spell my own last name. Right, Tim?
Yes, ma'am. Is this mobile command center purchasing a vehicle?
No, again, in answering Elaine's question from a few minutes ago, it's a trailer.
Okay, I did hear that.
Yep, they can use it to pull it to where they
Gotcha.
need to go, and it's one of those, kind of like a toy box
Thank you.
configuration. So the second grant, the trust board has approved a grant request from the Broadwater County Sheriff's Department Search and Rescue for $2,994 to allow the Sheriff's Department to purchase 6 Stearns Rapid Rescue Extreme Dry Suits. The current suits are over 20 years old and not practical. Many of the searches the department conducts are in Canyon Ferry, and this purchase will benefit all residents who use the lake. Again, keeping with the recreational charge of the trust board.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the $29.94 grant for 6 Stearns Rapid Rescue Extreme Dry Suits. All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Okay, and the last one is Broadwater County Trust Board has approved a grant for the Silos KOA for $6,612 to provide additional lights on the new docks. The Trust Board assisted in the purchase of the docks from Goose Bay many months ago. The new lights will improve safety for all voters. Trust Board urges the Commission to approve this grant.
I'll make a motion to approve the grant in the amount of $6,612 for lights at the docks.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the grant put forth by the Trust Board for $6,612 for new lights on the new docks, or additional lights on the new docks. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Two of the things, since we're again ahead of schedule, Mike is on vacation. He was last week, he is today. The shoveling outside was done by Dana.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, so give him a
Thanks,
thanks
Dana.
when you see him. Yeah, and you guys should know that as well. He just volunteered on his own time to come in and shovel, so huge thanks to Dana, and that's
Mhm.
just the kind of workers we have. People who step up and do things on their own time. The other one is extension, the heater is broken again. So, I told both Debbie and Virginia, feel free to telecommute. Debbie's gonna try and use her office and Julie's office, when she is not working for Julie to do work there. But, you know, and they have some space heaters in there, of course, which will be expensive.
Mm.
So, they're gonna try and do everything they can, but, just to let you guys know, I did give my permission, if it gets too cold, that they can work from home.
What did it cost last time to fix the heater?
I don't know, but that's becoming extremely expensive.
So we
So,
almost need to think of a different place for them.
we do.
I mean, the weather isn't supposed to get nice for at least 2 weeks.
No,
And with no heat, you can't work in those conditions.
no, you can't. That was never supposed to be a long-term fix, it was always just a temporary, so that we could address some other issues, so, we're gonna have to, you know, sit down and do some serious thinking on that particular issue. So, just to let you guys know,
Well,
and
space heaters aren't the best thing. They're expensive and they're dangerous.
exactly, yep, yep, and that's what we're dealing with right now. And those ambulances have to stay at 50 degrees.
So they don't have heat either?
I don't know what they're doing in there. But it's all in one system, so
Mm.
chances are it's more space heaters, which means more dollars being wasted.
Big time.
Yeah, yeah. So I will put Mike on the agenda for next week and maybe we can do some talking about that. Unless you guys have any ideas.
I don't, but I think we need to do something.
I do too.
Because you can't expect those ladies to sit over there freezing cold.
No, you just can't do your work.
And it's gonna get worse.
Right.
But the
Temperature
problem,
wise.
but the problem is, it might be just something simple and
I don't know.
Based on the fact that there's been a number of fixes, I don't think it's something simple, unless we replace the whole heating system, but again, I think that's good money after that.
Mhm.
It's an old building, it's poorly insulated. It was never supposed to be a long-term fix. So maybe we can brainstorm this week and discuss next week. Okay. So, oh, the Fusion. We have a claim that states that the wheels are cupping. The Fusion will be used a lot this winter, because it is good on ice and snow.
The legislature.
Exactly, yeah, it will probably be used a lot. So, what do you guys think about getting the tires that it needs to be safe?
As far as I know, Casey's the only one in town that sells tires.
Yeah.
And I would suggest that the Fusion be taken down. Don't buy the most expensive, but don't buy the cheapest.
Yeah. Franklin, any thoughts or,
I don't know about that.
okay, is that a motion and a second?
If it is.
Franklin, is that a second?
Yeah.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to, take the Fusion, or have somebody take the Fusion to Casey for tires and, let him know what our needs are, and, that we don't want the most expensive or the cheapest, but something safe.
Mm-hmm.
All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
You know, and actually a tire that's good on snow and ice would be good.
Yeah. It wouldn't hurt us to actually have a set of snow tires and just change them out with regular
Mhm.
street tires in May.
I mean, if you're in the capital, you're up on a hill. I've slid down that hill a time or two.
Oh, man. I parked way down at the bottom and walked all the way up because I was afraid of that.
You
Yes.
talked with Mike, what's the last name?
Myers, he's our maintenance supervisor. And that part of the building, the heating's broken. We are borrowing, in exchange for fixing the heating system. But, it seems that heating system may be beyond fixable.
How old is that building?
I don't know, no idea.
It was there when I was a kid.
Yeah,
Oh, that's an old building.
It's a really old building.
In the ambulance fire, I know there were radiant heaters in there.
Is there?
Yeah, so I think they're separate from the
Hmm.
rest of the building.
Just FYI, Rhonda Nelson, our former clerk and recorder treasurer, went to I think it was to Mayo, but I'm not positive on that part, and had surgery, and she's feeling wonderful. It really did help.
yeah. Oh, she looks good.
I mean, she's not even 50 years old yet.
Oh, I know it.
Not that that makes a difference, but.
Okay, we are fairly close to 11:15. I am going to jump into 11:15, which is legal services for possible arbitration over sheriff's office wages decision. This is a letter from Hughes, Kilmer, Sullivan, and Alke, PLLP in Helena. And this is from an attorney named Amy Christensen. If we go, and big if we go into arbitration, or beyond, we will need an attorney to represent the county in this. This is something that is way out of our current county attorney's ability, especially with the change coming in January. This is not her area of expertise. So this was Michelle and Mike who actually reached out to Ms. Christensen. She has here, this is
Mike
Mike Mako, Mike says that, yeah. This has her breakdown per hour, and is just an engagement letter. It does not solidify that we are going this route. We did have a mediation last week, and it went very well. So my hope is that we can avoid arbitration or anything beyond that.
Are you aware that Amy has connections to this county?
No, I'm not.
Pat Ryan, her grandfather, lived, and his family farmed down on Lower Confederate
Really?
years ago.
my gosh.
Her mom is Helen, that I went to Carroll with. And, so yeah,
Wow. I kind of know everybody.
that's because I'm so old,
I wasn't saying that.
but that's a fact. Isn't that right, Bob?
I won't say a word. We don't want to tell tales on each other, do we?
That's right. We're saying it, yeah, and we both agree to it,
Absolutely, absolutely.
until I look in the mirror.
This is the arbitration that was brought forward by an employee to address a discrepancy that came about in about 2004 with the adoption of a collective bargaining agreement with Teamsters. What that did is it set the wages for deputies out of compliance with MCA. We learned about this just recently and have been working to try and find different avenues to fix it ever since. Franklin, I have another copy of the letter if you want to read it as well. While Elaine is reading it.
That's right, I'm slow.
No, that's fine.
So, Ann, do you remember Cat Ryan? No, what, Helen had a sister that was older than we are. So was she in your class?
Wasn't in mine.
And I don't know.
Everybody's looking anyway.
That's my family.
Yeah.
Amy's dad was Art Rambo. That was the,
Oh, wow.
graduated from Carroll College. One of the teachers there were telling one of the smartest guys that went through school there.
Really?
Went over there in combat and didn't come back.
Oh, that's horrible for her. But that is interesting. Horrible for so many. Now, with the Ryans, are they related to John?
No, I don't believe there's any relation there.
Okay. That's not a tremendously uncommon name. I mean, common name. There's not a lot of them.
I don't know where they came from. Do you remember, Bill? Pat Ryan?
I think I knew Helen Ryan.
Okay, Helen's my age.
Yes. Was she in your class?
Yes.
Yeah.
They had moved by the time I moved here.
Yeah, but I don't think they were related to John Ryan.
I don't think so. Well, in fact, John came here when I was a sophomore. I remember that.
I think he came from Butte or Anaconda.
I remember that. My mind will only go so far.
You're not gonna mention the year.
No, I'm not.
9, 6.
Okay. All right, any questions? on this?
No, I don't think there's any choice.
No.
That's what I feel too, no choice.
This is not a new practice. The county, for years and years and years, probably since we started, has had to hire outside legal assistance from time to time. It was common with the previous county attorney, it's been common with the current, and it will be common in the future as well. This is just a matter of doing business.
Well, this goes back to 2004 and 5, long
Yeah.
before any of us were involved.
Right, right.
So it's time to get it cleaned up and sit
Absolutely,
and put to bed.
yes. So I will entertain a motion to sign to use the services of Ms. Christensen.
Also move.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to sign the engagement letter with Amy Christensen to help the county through the arbitration process, should it be needed. I should also back up and just let you guys know that also with the request for all the documents of all the department heads, for all emails, hard copies, phone calls pertaining in any way to the sheriff's department, if that continues forward, it would be Amy that would be the point person for taking that on, and we would be paying her for that as well. So I will add that as a friendly amendment to the motion, if that's okay.
That's
All
fine.
right. So all those in favor of the motion and the amendment, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Franklin, I think you have,
Huge cost there.
You ought to pass that one back, the copy, so she can sign it too. Yeah, that one.
Okay, yeah.
okay. And then we'll have a copy of this, of course, in the commission office.
Mm-hmm. So arbitration the other day went well?
It did, yeah. I'm feeling very hopeful, very positive.
Well, and this thing just kept snowballing. With every contract with their union, it put the wages out of control, out of sync, I should say.
Yeah. Do you know what this is asking for? Is that title again?
Yeah, it is,
Okay,
That would be my guess.
okay,
because, and it's commission chairman.
okay. All right, so it is just asking for the title again. All right, thank you.
But Department of Residency Department.
Exactly, yeah, job security.
So how many people did you feed, Sharon?
I don't know the exact numbers, but, close to 100.
That's very good.
Yeah. I took a 5-hour nap yesterday.
I bet you needed it.
Yeah.
All right. And then I will attach this also to a claim and present it next week, but Mike Seystad and Michelle Twiggery did meet with Amy already over the arbitration, and so we do have a claim. But I'll present it next week, and that'll be
That's fine.
6. All right. So, any questions? All right. Just a quick, we do have training with Michelle the 25th of November and the 21st from 9 to 12 both days. And Per our discussion last week, I did send out a memo to all department heads and elected officials, and I think the commission should be involved in both days as a show of leadership. And then the other date coming up is November 19th. We requested a Board of Health training from Department of Public Health and Human Services, and that will be from 3 to 5 on the 19th. And we should have the full commission at that as well.
Okay.
So with that, anything else from the board? All right. Anything?
So do you think on the first trainings, we should be at both?
Mhm. I think for all trainings on personnel, we should be at both, or all of them,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And I think the full commission is important to show that we're interested in the leadership of,
Mm-hmm.
and the importance of making sure that everybody's doing things as per MCA.
Right.
So, any other questions from the public before we adjourn? All right, it is 11:25, this meeting is adjourned, thank you, everyone.
Thank you for coming and stay warm.
Oh, stay warm.